Welcome to our daily reflection for this Thursday, May 30th. And we have a beautiful connection between the psalm today and the first epistle from Peter that we have in the first reading. And they're all about worship. And Peter is going to invite us to long for and grow by desiring spiritual milk. And then he's going to encourage us to offer up spiritual sacrifices. So we're going to talk about that spirituality of spiritual thirst and spiritual sacrifice. And then that leads us to Psalm 100, which is an invitation to worship God, to come to the temple, to come to God and offer Him a sacrifice of thanksgiving and praise. And so it's really both the trajectory of what Peter's exhorting us to and what Psalm 100's exhorting us to is to come to God and make an offering in praise and thanksgiving, to give God back what He's given us. That is our very life, our very selves, our very hearts. And so we want to return that, and that's what worship is. Worship is giving back to God our very selves in adoration and love. And let's look at this first image. You know, he says, like newborn infants long, right, for pure spiritual milk. In other words, desire spiritual milk. What is that spiritual milk? What does he want us to really thirst for? Well, this has been seen throughout the tradition as the thirst for the knowledge and love of God. And so that thirst is quenched by spiritual reading, especially. That is reading the Word of God and meditating on it. Reading other spiritual reading, you know, it could be from the saints, like St. Therese of Lisieux or St. Teresa of Avila or St. John of the Cross, to do spiritual reading. So we should have that kind of spiritual reading and spiritual books in our home so that we long for it, right? That's the spiritual milk that we'll drink each day. And then he says we also have to be like a holy priesthood, and we're all called to have a certain priesthood, whether we're male or female, lay or clerical. We all, by virtue of our baptism, are to imitate Jesus' priestly, prophetic, and royal vocation. And so in a way, we're all supposed to be priestly. Now, we don't get to offer up as laity the sacrifice of Christ to the Father as the priest does, but we do offer up our own sacrifices. And that's what he means by spiritual sacrifices that would be acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. So what are those spiritual sacrifices? It's when we give up on our will. You know, maybe our kids or our spouse want something, it's not what we want, but we're going to watch the movie they want, or we're going to spend time in the way they want, right? That is a spiritual sacrifice. When we offer up our work, when we offer up sacrifices, our time to help somebody, to go out of our way, these are all spiritual sacrifices that we're offering up. And ultimately, we offer up our comfort and ourselves. And so that's a sacrifice. And when we do that and we offer these things up, it's a way of returning in praise and thanksgiving what God has given us, and we give back our very selves, our very time, our very money. These are all spiritual sacrifices. We can make physical sacrifices into a spiritual sacrifice. This is what Peter's teaching us. And so we want to reflect on how we can do that by offering up our work. I'm going to do it diligently and well and cheerfully. I'm going to make that an offering to God. I'm going to offer up by helping out my neighbor, helping out my family member, and serving them and being attentive and listening and caring for them. These are all things that we can physically do that end up being spiritual sacrifices because we offer them up to the glory of God out of love for Him. So let's think about how we can do that. We come to God with worship by spiritual thirst, that spiritual milk we're going to drink each day, and by making spiritual sacrifices. And then we will live out this new covenant priesthood that we're called to give worship to God. May the Lord bless and keep you. St. Paul says that faith comes from hearing. And we know that means hearing the Word of God, the good news, the gospel. And that is the heart of our mission here at the Augustine Institute. And what we want is to partner with you so that more and more people can come to hear the good news and believe in Jesus Christ. That is our goal here at the Augustine Institute. And if you want to partner with us, you can join us by going to our website at augustineinstitute.org/give. That is augustineinstitute.org/give. Become a mission partner with us, and let's help others hear the good news and believe. May the Lord bless and keep you.